makes it easy, navigate, and accessible. This book is divided into four sections. The first one being essentials for AO excellence. Second section, engaging AO. Number three, supporting AO. For the first part, essentials for AO excellence, three main ideas are number one, value your English language assets. By doing so, students feel valued and have a sense of belonging. This includes learning home language, languages, life experiences, and career opportunities. It really focused on a good job, which is learning how important that language skills that we think that mentors can go along. Number two, they give you a first step at the excellence for every EL. Students rise or fall to the level of expectations. So if you set high expectations, they're going to reach it no matter what. Steps to reach this goal is number one, having specific goals for student learning. Don't just expect there. Once have specific points for every student as you go about them. Number two, prioritize high-level detention tasks, so making sure that you're doing hands-on stuff. And number three, collaborate with other educators to check your effectiveness. You're talking to other teachers and other educators to see what they do and see how it all works. The third big idea was reflective and impact. So continuously evaluating your own teaching and results helps you to be in a better place in the future. And this cycle kind of follows the steps of planning your lesson, teaching your lesson, assessing how well the lesson went, and then reflecting and doing all over again.
Into the curriculum. So we're going to ask three main questions from this section. What is student engagement? Who should we ask questions? First question, the main example for this strategy, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about. These this part to control sentence.
So section three is focused on supporting students. It's important to find the right sort of supports. So in order to find the right Number 2 is engage and observe. Engage English language learners in a task related to the goals to identify the needs and achieve these goals. Number 3 is support. Choose instructional supports that will help ELs and their needs to meet the goals. And then reflect. Reflect on the impact your supports are making on the students. And if it's not impacting your students positively, make sure you refine your approach. There is no right answer to supports. Not every support will benefit each student the way you anticipated, but be ready to make the adjustments. So this is basically a chart that is in our book. This is a figure that we really liked. This chart will help you decide on if the support is beneficial or not for the students. And using this chart will help you know when to adjust the supports to the student needs. It's very important connecting to student knowledge or background knowledge and experiences, especially when you're finding supports for the students. When you connect your students' previous knowledge and experience, it makes your teaching relevant to your students, shows your value, that shows that you value students' background, helps students build on what they know to learn new concepts. And how do you do this? You do class or peer discussions before the readings, build from primary language to English. So start with their home language and then work into the English language. Engage students to a topic they're familiar with, then apply the school content in its theater. Reference to interests such as TV shows or movies, especially when working with character building. And do not make assumptions about a student's background experience. So one critique that I had for this support section was that at one point the book essentially said that the students may struggle at first to know about what the student needs in terms of support. So knowing that the struggling can hurt learners, I would like to avoid the non-productive struggle. I understand the point of trying to challenge students in the classroom, but struggling could lead to a negative learning impact. During this book, it said that they are hoping this support will be a productive struggle. I understand that you cannot ensure that struggle will be a negative aspect of learning, but there should be a decent idea of what is too much struggle and what is not enough before affecting the student. I believe we should challenge all students and not potentially hurt their academics with productive struggle.
Okay, and then the last section that we read about was applying these strategies when teaching English language learners. So basically, just as a quick overview of the section, it basically discusses how we, as educators of ESL and ELLs, can implement the skills and strategies we have learned throughout the book and differentiate instruction in order for these learners to grow and succeed in their literacy and language abilities. It also focuses on doing this by achieving the 6 essentials of EL learning, which is value, expect, engage, observe, support, and reflect, when teaching about important literacy goals. More specifically, it gives us step-by-step detailed plans to do so during closed reading, writing, and discussing of texts utilized by all students no matter their reading level. Okay, and so it also gave us a four-step routine to engage English language learners in close reading, writing, and discussion. So the first one is anticipate. So this happens before the reading of a text. It allows our English language learners to become curious and think about what they are going to read beforehand, grow their desire to read and find out more, and spark their prior knowledge and experiences in relation to the text. Some examples of this are making predictions and asking questions before reading. The second step to close reading is read to understand. So this happens during the reading of the text, and it allows our English language learners to simply just read the text given to them and to begin to develop meaning as they are currently in the process of reading it. And then some examples of this are identifying overall main ideas, self-monitoring, and using context clues to help solve and make sense of confusing aspects, and etc. The third stage is reread to analyze and infer. this step also happens during the reading of the text, and it allows our ELs to build their comprehension skills by understanding what they just read. It will also give them the opportunity to use their critical thinking skills to dig deeper into the reading by discovering its goals and purpose for the readers. An example of this is making claims, both written and spoken, about what was grasped from the reading and the author's overall message. And then the last step is collaborate and write with text evidence. And then this happens after the reading of a text. It will essentially allow our English language learners to work together as a whole to fully understand what they just read and make connections with each other about ideas within the text they just read, as well as connections to other text ideas and experiences. And then here were just some examples of applying some of the strategies we talked about throughout the book into real life lessons. So the one on the left, I have the teacher made a root word tree to basically help learners figure out like what the roots mean and giving examples of those and whatnot. And so that way they can use affixes and roots to figure out unknown words and engage ELs in the read to understand stage. And then the next picture I have, it's an example of how English language learners will be engaged in the read to analyze and infer stage by making inferences about characters in the text using writing prompts and conversation sentence frames like it's shown on the left. And then I didn't really have a whole lot of critiques on this section. I really enjoyed reading about it, and it helped me to gain a better idea of how I can actually utilize and apply these different skills and strategies we learned in possible real life situations in the classroom. It provided me with step-by-step thorough instruction for numerous learning activities in a variety of close reading situations, as well as ways to differentiate these methods. The only critique I really had is that while this is extremely helpful to refer back to these when looking for ways I can apply these strategies in my own classroom, it isn't guaranteed that these situations will go exactly the way it was described in the section. It all depends on knowing your learners, their needs, and differentiating instruction accordingly. There's an endless amount of ways we can apply differentiation for the wide range of diverse learners we will encounter. For the majority of the time, we will just simply have to learn and get better with differentiating instruction and applying these strategies through experience. Right, and there's our works cited, and we hope you all enjoyed.